SharePoint provides outsourced bookkeeping and financial advisory services for small businesses and nonprofits across the region. If you run a business and want a team that actually knows your numbers, visit highpointaccounts.com. The official gym of RKC Third Coast is Razor Sharp Fitness, a gym with two locations right here in Racine and Mount Pleasant. Whether you're just getting started or you've been training for years, Razor Sharp has the facility and the program to meet you where you are. Find them at razorsharpfit.com. Camp Shutout is the official stage sponsor for RKC Third Coast. Camp Shutout is the world's largest youth goalkeeper camp with 800 keepers from 46 states and multiple countries. Visit campshutout.com to learn more about what Camp Shutout has to offer. Red Onion Cafe is the official post-game meal provider for the RKC Third Coast side. Red Onion Cafe is located at 555 Main Street here in Racine. For breakfast, lunch, or catering, Red Onion Cafe is your first choice. Visit redonionracine.com for their menu or to book an event. RKC Third Coast would like to thank the Prairie School for being our official corner kick and kick zone sponsor in 2026. The Prairie School in Wind Point is one of the finest private independent college preparatory day schools in the United States. Prairie serves students from early school and pre-kindergarten through 12th grade. To learn more about the fantastic educational offerings, visit prairieschool.com today. Root Like Win, a community partner, is the organization working to restore the Root River, Pike River, and the watersheds that feed directly into Lake Michigan, right here in our backyard. Pritchard Park, where we are tonight, is part of what they're fighting to protect. Learn more and get involved at rootpipewin.org. Milwaukee Riverkeeper, a community-led organization doing advocacy, education, and science to protect and restore the Milwaukee River Basin. Clean water in this region doesn't happen on its own. It takes people showing up year after year, and Milwaukee Riverkeeper is one of them. Learn more at milwaukeeriverkeeper.org. Our community partner, UW Milwaukee School of Freshwater Sciences, is the only graduate school in the country dedicated entirely to freshwater research, sitting on the shore of the largest freshwater system in the world. Learn more at uwm.edu/freshwater.
I have no idea either, but I can let you know.
Number 25, Sydney Ehrengardt. Number 10, Hannah Rockford. Number 16, Kira Bogart. Number 3, Maria Chavez. Number 23, Gabrielle Coyne. Number 9, Ava Clean. Number 24, Gracie LePage. Number 19, Zoe Mahoney. Number 1, Emmeline McCanahan. Number 18, Isabella Wall. Number 11, Amelia Wu. The coaches are Ryan Frisky and Eduardo Garza III. And now, from the heart of the shore and the lakefront to I-94, let's welcome the first 11 for the RKC third coast. Number 8, Annalise Black. Number 24, Amelia Love. Number 4, Emily Fix. Number 18, Holly Hector. Number 25, Amelia Hernandez. Number 3, Kira Rimbaud. Number 1, Ella Russell. Number 22, Maria Ramahani. Number 9, Eva Riccicotto. Number 23, Emily Sly. Number 20, Elsa Stedman. The assistant coaches are Jack Bell, Alexis Diaz, and Janine Valera. The head coach is Chelsea Davis. And now to honor America and all that it stands for, as well as our freedom and all of those who protect it, please rise to the table for the playing of our national anthem.
From Pritchard Park in Racine, Wisconsin, it's time for RKC Third Coast Soccer. Good afternoon, everyone. Dan Pfeiffer with you on the west side of Pritchard Park's pitch, as today RKC Third Coast gets set to take on Rockford Raptors FC on both the women's and men's side. Our women's match will be a USL W contest in the Heartland Division, where these two teams are currently tied with 3 points apiece. RKC Third Coast playing its fourth match of the season, fresh off its first victory, which came against Raleigh Madison FC. The Raleigh Madison FC squad still seeking its first win in its history in the USL W. Meanwhile, Rockford Raptors, they do have one victory on the season already, and that came against this RKC Third Coast team the first time these two teams played. That came on May 20th in Rockford when they captured a 2-1 win over RKC Third Coast in the first match of the campaign for both of these squads. It was Gracie LePage getting the scoring started in the 2026 campaign for Rockford Raptors FC with a goal in the 26th minute. Then Sydney Ehrengardt Darchik also scored in the 31st minute. Magdalene Preuss gave RKC Third Coast its first goal of the season in the 90th minute, but it was not enough to make up the 2-0 deficit that RKC Third Coast got itself into, and that one finished as a 2-1 final in favor of the Raptors. However, they have dropped 3 straight since then. They've allowed 6 goals across those 3 matches, and today, fresh off the 1-0 victory against Raleigh Madison FC, in which Olivia Hernandez scored, RKC Third Coast we'll see if they can get 3 more points and extract some revenge for the loss they took when they went down to Rockford. It appears Chelsea Davis is back with the organization today. She was off for that match against Raleigh Madison FC, so she will be the manager, if you will, for RKC Third Coast. Meanwhile, it's Eduardo Garza who leads Rockford Raptors FC, a well-known club in the Rockford area. And what's interesting about this Rockford side, too, a lot of young talent on this Rockford team. When you take a look at these rosters at this level, you oftentimes expect to see a lot of college freshmen, sophomores, occasionally some players who are post-college. But you also do occasionally see maybe 1 or 2 players on each roster that is still in high school, maybe hasn't picked a school just yet. A number of players on this Rockford Raptors side have not yet seen action in college and are high school sophomores or juniors. So a little bit of a younger look for this Raptors FC squad. And again, Rockford Raptors FC, very good club in the Rockford area, well-known club for quite a while, whereas you do have this RKC Third Coast squad, as Wayne Howard stands just down the way from us, running the scoreboard and the music today, doing everything to try and get this RKC Third Coast side built up. It's been a gradual process for them as we are underway here in Racine, as we get things started with this day of soccer that will also feature the men's side taking on Rockford Raptors FC later on this evening in a match that will get underway at 7 p.m. First 11 for RKC Third Coast includes Kira Kimbrough and Ava Rizzitano up top. Neither of those strikers yet to score on the season. The 2 goals again for RKC Third Coast belonging to Hernandez and Preuss. Hernandez will be your central attacking midfielder, with Annalise Black getting her first nod of the season along with Callie Hefner. Among the other midfielders for RKC Third Coast, dropping back into kind of a defensive midfield position will be Jenna Brower. And then you'll have Emily Fix, Elsa Stedman, Malia Ramdani, and Amelia Bubb in front of Ella Cradaville in goal. Of course, the Muskego Warrior product, and we talked with Stan Anderson the last time we were on the air, as we get a shot for RKC. Left footer from the near side, but that is saved by Emmeline McClenahan, who is the keeper for Rockford Raptors FC out of Hinsdale, Illinois. She attends the University of Utah. A Ute. If you are familiar with the movie My Cousin Vinny, I often like to refer to that when I talk about the Utah Utes, but you'll have to watch that film to understand exactly why. Getting back to that other side here, you get that shot early on for RKC Third Coast. That was Hernandez who took that shot. She's easily identifiable by that big cast that she has on her left arm right now, and got the opportunity. Took the left-footed shot. Hernandez, currently attending Marquette University, a Golden Eagle, program I know a thing or two about. Took that shot from the near side wing, but couldn't get it past Emmeline McClenahan, who is one of the 11 out there for Rockford Raptors today. The only one not wearing the gray kits of the Rockford Raptors as they go from right to left on your computer screen, smart TV, phone, whatever device you may be getting us on. Maybe you're getting us even via ESP, which if you can connect to the broadcast in that manner, I envy you and your brain. Ball played into the middle off the foul on one bounce. That will come to Cradaville as the first ball really inside the 18 of any danger today for Rockford Raptors FC is played forward but handled easily by the Eastern Illinois student athlete, that is Cradaville. Yeah, for Rockford Raptors FC, they'll go with the standard 3-4-4, at least in terms of what you see on their team sheet coming in. It'll be Ava Kling, Kira Bagat, and Gracie LePage, who again did score that first goal against RKC Third Coast the first time these teams met. In front of a midfield of Blockowitz, Wu, and Aaron Darchik. And then you have Maria Chavez, Bella Walls, Zoe Mahoney, and Gabrielle Coyne making up the 4 in the back. Another through ball that takes a couple hops into the hands of Cradaville, and she will once again reset the RKC Third Coast back line. RKC will play this out of the back as we see both teams trying to get a rhythm here. And in that match between RKC Third Coast and Raleigh Madison FC, we did see that Raleigh Madison had more possession in that match, outshot RKC Third Coast, but ultimately RKC Third Coast, again, the beneficiary of that Hernandez goal, just an outstanding strike at the right time in the second half, and that was what put them on top of Raleigh Madison FC 1-0. That did officially go down as a save for Cradaville. College rule book says that any ball that would go into the goal were it not for the intervention of the goalkeeper is a save, which means we have to acknowledge our save sponsor. And we mentioned Stan Anderson being on the broadcast before. He will be joining us later tonight for the men's match as well. Stan Anderson is the purveyor of Camp Shutout, which is the official save sponsor for RKC Third Coast. It's the world's largest youth goalkeeper camp with 800 keepers from 46 states and multiple countries. Visit campshutout.com to learn more about what Camp Shutout has to offer. I hear they have a pretty good DJ, too. Along the edge of the 18, ball played towards the middle, but not before it goes out beyond the goal line. Goal kick for Cradaville, and she'll start things back up quickly as she sends it over to the near side and fix. Short passes for RKC Third Coast, but it works as they take it into the midfield. Callie Hefner tries to play a ball to Rizzitano in the middle. It goes beyond her, though, and it'll be Zoe Mahoney who will chase it down for Raptors, and she'll play it back to the keeper, McClenahan. Raptors will play it through the back. Captain's armband for Rockford Raptors FC on Maria Chavez. She is a Portuguese product, but also is part of the Thundering Herd of Marshall. Ball played forward, but handled easily by Stedman. And now RKC will try and work it through the right wing. Short pass, well contested. Aaron Darchik, nice back heel. Finds her teammate LePage. Blachowicz to the far side. Organized work from Rockford, at least this time with possession, although they do lose possession, and it is taken by Hernandez. A lot of contacts. No whistle. Play on, says our referee today, Ryan Shanklin. Rockford takes possession, but then it's taken away, and that is Amelia Bubb on the far side, who really set up that Hernandez goal in the victory over Raleigh Madison FC with a great through ball to Hernandez that she was able to slot far post. Throw in, though, for Raptors from the far side. Over to touch is Zoe Mahoney. Iowa products. A Drake Bulldog. Our public address announcer today is Gina Rogers, who has done quite a bit of work in Iowa. We get the flip throw, 9.5. She sticks the landing, but ultimately possession comes to RKC Third Coast off of the 50-50 ball off the flip throw. The flip throw is always impressive. You don't see it as much even as you used to anymore. Get a lot of power behind that. That's ultimately the reason you do it. It's nothing style-wise. It's the fact that you can put your entire body into it and get the momentum of your whole personage being behind the ball. But it's, first off, a very acrobatic move. Secondly, it's difficult exactly to control where it is that you're throwing the ball, as it is with any long throw. So unsurprising that RKC got possession for at least a little while, but Rockford Raptors has it back. Along the goal line, was it touched out by Bubb? No, they will say that Raptors touched it last, and it will be a goal kick for Cradaville and Third Coast. 8th minute of the match. Really yet to have any serious opportunity for either of these sides. However, again, Raptors have had most of the possession early on in this contest, but we see this sometimes. RKC Third Coast, and we saw it again against Raleigh Madison FC. It's something where they'll let teams play with possession in the hope of A, countering, and B, just creating a quality opportunity when they get possession themselves. Bubb plays that ball forward. Controlled by Chavez momentarily, sent back by RKC Third Coast. Now the Raptors will organize. To the near side, it's Walls. Plays a nice ball forward to LePage. LePage dropping back and playing a little bit more of a midfield position right now than the right wing position that she was listed as on the team sheet entering the match. Understandable, with this still being 0-0 and very early on, that Raptors FC would look to play a lightly conservative game, at least at this stage. No reason to try too hard to push things too far forward. LePage trying to make some moves on Emily Fix. Another Marquette Golden Eagle. Ball played over to the far side. One touch for the Raptors. Trying to set up a cross. That does come in, but it goes over the top of everybody, including Aaron Darchik, and it will be handled easily by Cradaville. Raptors showing us a few different things on the attack early on with as much possession as they've had. Cradaville almost steps out of the 18 as she sends that ball down the pitch. Also interesting, too, as there is the continued scrap for possession in midfield. Cradaville reached for and is got a hand on her back as after she took that set piece. Still kind of holding that back a little bit. We'll keep an eye on that. Cradaville, such a great keeper when she played at Muskego. When we last time out talked about how Muskego has been the dominant force in girls soccer in the 2020 decades thus far here in the state of Wisconsin in Division I. But she has dealt with some injuries. You can see she's got a very large brace on her right arm. She's had that much of her college career, and always a little bit nervous about the physical state of Cradaville, knowing some of her injury history. Certainly a quality player, but have to make sure she stays healthy both through the summer and the fall. RKC gets the ball to the edge of the 18, but really doesn't make anything of their possession. Now they have to worry about the counter as the ball is played to the near side. LePage. She'll slow things down as she is well marked by Hefner. Hefner able to knock it away from LePage. And now possession is taken over by RKC Third Coast. Hernandez quickly through the middle of the field. Looking with the dribble. Holding on to that dribble. Sending the ball to the near side in Rizitano. Rizitano in the corner. Low cross along the ground. Didn't see if Kimbrough got a touch on it or not. She was well challenged by Chavez. But whatever was the case, the ball didn't have much on it. It just spun into the gloves of Emmeline McClenahan. And the Ute gets things going in the opposite direction for the Raptors. Quickly down the pitch goes Rockford. Ramdani able to take it away. Possession back to RKC Third Coast. Fix into the middle. Brower, we talked about her playing that defensive midfield position. Not exactly a sweeper. And again, positions in modern soccer. Way off her line is McClenahan getting a touch on it. Was Rizitano. What was McClenahan doing that far out of goal? Not only that, she was 10 yards outside of the 18. And again, Rizitano got a touch on it, sent it in the direction of goal, but just couldn't direct it straight enough for it to go in. It goes out for a goal kick, but my goodness. Emmeline McClenahan. We've been talking about the team sheet left and right. Just check the color of your kit. You are not the fifth defender. Don't want to be too critical here, but at the same time, she was way off her line and in a awkward position. And we talked about it with Stan Anderson the last time he was on the broadcast, that yes, as a keeper, you want to be decisive. If you are going to come off your line, you have to come off aggressively, but that far away from the goal, with defenders in the area, it wasn't a 1v1 breakaway. We still see here, as RKC has possession, that she's well outside the 18. And yes, keepers will come forward when the ball is in the attacking half. We do get a whistle. We will have a foul called. It will be further back, so a bit of a delayed call on the part of Ryan Shanklin. Understandable. He wanted to see if RKC could get advantage. They did not. He chooses to blow the whistle after they do not have advantage, and it'll be Stedman to come over to take the free kick. But yeah, McClenahan taking an unnecessary risk there by being that far outside of the box. And smart players will be aggressive and will try and chip keepers in that situation. And it wasn't that Rizitano got underneath it. She just kind of sent a weakly spun ball wide of the goal. But if she had gotten just a little more of it and had directed a little better, speaking of balls played over the top, that is a ball from 50 yards out on the part of Stedman that is gripped by McClenahan. RKC Third Coast saves are presented by Camp Shutout. Learn more about the camp at campshutout.com. And that is also technically a save. Ball played forward. This is a situation where, yes, if you're McClenahan, that's a through ball. The defender isn't near it. There's an attacking player near it. You can stay inside the 18, and you can definitely collect that ball and stop the attack for RKC Third Coast. So we're seeing some of the style of Emmeline McClenahan here. Not afraid to play more of a indoor soccer style where she's coming far out of the goal. She trusts her instincts, that is for sure. Well marked, Amelia Wu for Rockford Raptors FC. Wu, part of the U17 Chinese Taipei national team, though she is based out of Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Possession comes to RKC. Nice ball from Hernandez into the middle, cutting across Hefner. She'll play it to the far side. Shot from distance, up and over the top for Rizitano. Ava Rizitano, best opportunity of the day for RKC Third Coast. Quick build for Third Coast, and he has a shot from distance for the Kenosha St. Joe's product. But Rizitano, also a Parkside Ranger, very familiar with this part of the world. Couldn't get it to dip under the crossbar. Back the other direction, off the goal kick, Rockford Raptors FC. Good run along the far side. Cross along the ground. Stopped by Third Coast. They'll take possession back and look to counter. Nice ball to the near side. It'll be taken by Black. Annalise Black. Through ball. Well done. Kimbrough. Edge of the 18. Takes the shot, and it's saved by McClenahan. Kimbrough saw the window. Probably would have liked to play that to either the far or the near post rather than right at McClenahan. Nonetheless, always better to take the shot than not have it taken at all. Another save, though, for McClenahan. And once again, RKC Third Coast saves are presented by Camp Shutout. Learn more about the camp at campshutout.com. Rockford Raptors FC had possession through most of the first 10 minutes of this match. However, we've seen a lot more RKC Third Coast possession. And we see RKC Third Coast being a little bit more aggressive today than what we saw against Raleigh Madison FC. Maybe a product of Chelsea Davis being back and helping out with things right now. But also the fact that in that match, it just didn't feel like they ever really got a rhythm, even though they were able to score a goal. I think part of what Coach Davis wants to see from this side is the ability to get out, run, really force things on the counter. And we've seen that already a couple times today on the part of Third Coast. 50-50 ball along the far side touchline, controlled by Raptors. In the midfield, that's Chavez. She'll play the ball to the near side. Gabrielle Coyne, haven't mentioned her just yet. She will be a Wisconsin Badger. Comes out of Schaumburg, Illinois. Will start her career in Madison this fall. Ball played back to Bella Walls. Well defended. Nice takeaway by Brower. She plays it back to Stedman, who will play it all the way back to Cradaville. Pressure applied by Ava Kling. Cradaville unfazed. Possession does come back to Raptors. Far side. Bub going against LePage. Bub is able to clear it away from LePage, but it is controlled by Rockford, at least for a moment. Blockowitz. All the way back to the central defender for Raptors, who is Gabrielle Coyne. Near side Walls. Deflected out. Throw in for Rockford Raptors FC. Yeah, we mentioned the youth of this Rockford Raptors team. Erin Darchick, again, who had the second goal the first time these two teams met. She is headed to Kentucky. Just finished up her high school career. Gracie LePage out of Crystal Lake, Illinois. Did not initially commit to Notre Dame, but then got the offer and said, you know, South Bend seems like a nice place in the fall. I guess I'll try that out. A lot of contact. Now we do get a whistle from Ryan Shanklin, and that will be a foul against Rockford Raptors FC. We're also going to have some conversation here between Shanklin and Bella Walls. Maybe an equipment issue for Walls here. Shanklin's going to stop play for a moment, or it could be blood. And we will see Walls head over to the touchline. Looks like she is going to receive some brief medical care. Probably just a small cut. They'll patch her up, they'll tell her to keep going to the jab, and they'll send her out there for round 2. Restart, RKC, far side, Hernandez with the dribble. And we mentioned this the other night, too, that RKC seemed a little bit hesitant to play balls off the dribble. A little too quick at times to try and go with the through ball. Near side, Black, taken off of her foot. Possessed second time by Fix. Taken away by Aaron Darchik. She'll try and play a ball forward quickly on the counter. First time it's deflected. Second time it does come to Ava Kling. Kling will reverse the pitch, then come back in another direction. They do summon Walls back onto the pitch after her blood issue is rectified. On the near side, outstanding defense upon Kling. Good work by Emily Fix. RKC has to play the ball all the way back to McClenahan. Emily Fix out of Gurnee, Illinois. I had the opportunity to be in Gurnee on Friday morning. Of course, Gurnee, Illinois, known for the Six Flags Great America theme park, which celebrated its 50th anniversary of opening on Friday. Exactly 50 years. Yeah, and our owner, Wayne Howard, knows a thing or two about Gurnee as well. He teaches down there, but yeah, the wife and I had the opportunity to go down for the ceremony at 11 a.m. on Friday, where they celebrated the exact 50-year mark of opening of the park. Had a ribbon cut-in. Everyone got a cupcake and a little party hat. It was a very nice ceremony. Perfect weather. It has been outstanding weather throughout the weekend here in southeastern Wisconsin and northeastern Illinois. It's really starting to feel like summer in this part of the world, and it is a glorious time here when the weather finally gets nice and you can go outside and do things. Trees start getting green, grass starts growing first time you go out and have to cut the lawn. This weekend has felt like perhaps the first weekend that you could count on the weather being good. Cross into the middle, almost sent into the goal for an own goal by Chavez. Fortunately for her, it goes just to the near side of the near post, and it'll be our first corner kick of the day for RKC Third Coast, brought to you by the Prairie School in Wind Point, one of the finest private independent college preparatory day schools in the United States. Prairie serves students from early school and pre-kindergarten through grade 12. To learn more about their fantastic educational offerings, visit prairieschool.com today. Corner comes from the near side. Sent through the air, curling towards the goal, headed in front of the goal, cleared off the line. Still on for RKC, now cleared away in full by Rockford Raptors FC. McClenahan got caught out of position. Stedman was right there. She just couldn't turn around in time to make good contact, but this time she makes good contact and it goes off the near post. Mere good fortune for Rockford Raptors that ball didn't go in. Elsa Stedman with a great look from about 20 yards out. And RKC still has it inside the 18. Now 3 Rockford Raptors players around the ball. They'll clear it away and they'll look to counter. To the near side, good challenge by Stedman. Ball does go out into touch. It'll be a throw in for Raptors. But RKC Third Coast mere inches away from getting both their third goal of the season and their first goal of the afternoon. But the woodwork unkind to Elsa Stedman on that opportunity in the 22nd minute. And again, we're seeing it with McClenahan. That on the one hand, she wants to be aggressive. She wants to be off her line. But that's a couple times now that RKC Third Coast has maybe caught McClenahan out of position. And while, yes, coming forward that much can cut down on angles, it also reduces reaction time. And if you get wrong-footed, as was the case on that opportunity in the 22nd minute, things can come crashing down. We'll get a throw in here for Rockford Raptors FC, and that will be another flip throw from the far side. That looked like it hit Amelia Bubb in the face, and yes, we are going to get the medical staff out here to look at Bubb because she just went crumbling to the ground after that ball got her straight in the nose, and this may be a matter of them just checking real quick to say, okay, everything good concussion-wise, nothing hurt, nose good, vision good, all of those different things that they do as they should now to make sure a player's okay. Bubb seems to be all right. Tell me your name, Mia Hamm. All right, get back out there. It is technically a drop ball situation, and off of the throw, Rockford Raptors FC, sporting move, they decide to allow RKC Third Coast to have possession and clear the ball out. Credit to Eduardo Garza's side. We've mentioned the flip throw a couple times here on the part of Gracie LePage, and this is the time of year to work on those sorts of things. We know that with a lot of these players, and we mentioned LePage is headed to Notre Dame as we will get a goal kick for RKC Third Coast in the 25th minute. It is Summer League, and these players are earning their NIL dollars and scholarships to go to their colleges. That is their main focus by every account. But that doesn't mean that they're not putting out full effort here, but it does mean that when you get to this club portion of the season, the summer part, it is a good time to work on areas and aspects of your game that you want to perhaps add to your arsenal at the next level, but may not necessarily be your strengths just yet. Not to say that Gracie LePage isn't good at the flip throw. We've seen it twice now, and that certainly had nothing to do with the fact that Bubb got hit in the face. That's just chance occurrence. But this is the time to work on those sorts of things. Might not be something you always do at the next level, but it might be something to at least have in your arsenal as something that your coaches know they can turn to in that situation. RKC Third Coast cross-deflected on the part of Raptors FC. It was Emily Fix who tried to send that in. Possession goes back to Third Coast. Brower out of the back. Shot knocked away by McClenahan. It'll go over the goal line. Corner kick, RKC Third Coast. Once again brought to you by the Prairie School in Wind Point, one of the finest private independent college preparatory schools in the United States. Visit prairieschool.com today. Prairie School, also one of the top small school programs in the state when it comes to producing soccer talent as well. I've seen them at Eline Soccer Park for the WIA State Soccer Championships a few times. Ball's headed towards McClenahan, but she is able to make the save. Not much pace on that, even though the cross was on target for Emily Fix. Offside will be the call against Rockford, well ahead of the pass. Possession goes back to RKC Third Coast, and once again, it's Fix on the near side. She'll send it to Annalise Black. Nice ball played forward. Good pace for Third Coast here. Kimbrough, cross. She'll actually play that to goal, but it goes wide of the mark. Kimbrough with that ball along the ground. Speaking of the Prairie School, by the way, Kira Kimbrough, Prairie School alum. Future Prairie School alum, we should say. But it looked like she was perhaps looking for a teammate. Hard to tell if she misstruck the ball and it went wide of the goal, or if she was trying to be sneaky and play a ball that looked like a pass that instead went towards frame. Either way, a threatening ball, even though it went wide of the mark. Back in the other direction, Rockford quickly to get the ball down the pitch. However, nothing materializes as it bounces into the hands of Credeville. There we see another big-time contact with the soccer ball, this time on the part of a Raptor. That is Hannah Blockowitz, who has to reach back to her ponytail and put a hand on the back of her neck after she takes a deflection. Is on the wrong end of it. Good defense by RKC Third Coast. Ramdani plays it forward to Brower. Goes out into touch, and it'll be a throw-in for 3C FC. Haven't had any substitutes yet in this match. First 11's still on the pitch for both sides. Trip, quick whistle. Another free kick for RKC Third Coast. That was Amelia Wu who committed that foul. Haven't had anything coming close to needing Ryan Shanklin to head to his pocket for his yellow card just yet. This will be Ramdani to take this free kick. Looks for some instructions from her technical staff, then sends it forward. 50-50 ball, won by RKC. Through ball, touch to the far side. Hefner chasing after it. Well marked. She's able to keep it on. Cross, nobody there. Coming off her line is McClenahan, and she will end the attack opportunity for Third Coast. Had to play a quick cross with Zoe Mahoney out of the back, playing some physical defense, and unfortunately, Kira Kimbrough just wasn't in a position to play that ball. McClenahan, we have talked about how aggressive she is in coming off her line. She wasn't going to take any chance that there was anybody else wearing red and black stripes coming from the far side. So she collects that cross, and now Rockford Raptors FC back at the other end. Ava Kling, Deeks left, goes right, tries to play a ball forward to LePage. This will sky high into the air. Kling with some contact, and they're going to say that she made too much contact against Elsa Stedman. Stedman goes to the ground. Kling not happy with the call, but it will go against Raptors, and we'll have a free kick here for RKC Third Coast. Kling making the case that it was a 50-50 ball, and as such, both players were going for the ball. But with that much contact, and before Stedman had really made any effort to go up in the air after the ball, Shanklin determining that Kling played the player more than the ball and called the foul. Emily Fix's pass is intercepted. 31st minute, still 0-0 between Third Coast and Raptors FC. Good to have you on board on this nice day. Wherever you may be watching this broadcast, whether it be south of the state line, if you are a Rockford supporter, we thank you for joining us. Or, of course, here in southeastern Wisconsin in the Racine and Kenosha areas. Good day to head down by the harbor if you're in Racine. Pull us up on your phone. Of course, if you got the opportunity, the best place to be is right here in the stands. Was trying to figure out in my head, knowing that we were going to have 2 hours between the match today, and not just in my head, I really should have Googled it. Was wondering if Cupie Burger was open today. That might be some place to go. I have a little bit of prep to catch up on before the men's match. Otherwise, I might have considered that. So many great places in both downtown Racine and downtown Kenosha, too. We have to remember, we represent both here. I'm a fan of Sassy Bees, Kenosha. Good live jazz down there. Great custom cocktails. Wouldn't be a place I would go between matches. That would be an after the match thing. Another flip throw on the part of LePage, headed out by RKC Third Coast. Kimbrough, contact with her once, then twice. Kimbrough knocks down Blockowitz, then a shot from distance for Rockford Raptors FC, but that goes up and over the crossbar. One of the better opportunities of the day for Raptors. It was Erin Darchik trying to match her 31st minute goal in the first meeting between these two squads in the 33rd minute of this contest. Just a little off the mark. Raptors again with the ball in the attacking half. To the near side, Kling again. Well marked by Fix. Good physical defense by Fix. And they'll call the foul against Kling. Ball did go out into touch, but Ryan Shanklin says, no, put that on the ground. Foul first. Have to think Kling's probably getting a little frustrated right now with those 2 foul calls. That also looked like a 50-50 ball with the foul getting called against Kling. Also has to be a little concerned about repeated offenses. And once again, we see McClenahan 4 yards outside of the box. There, though, she's in the right place at the right time. And that ultimately may be part of the reason why we're seeing RKC Third Coast more aggressive on the attack today. They know if they can get down quick enough and challenge McClenahan with her as eager as she often is to get off of her line, they might be able to catch her out of position at some point today and turn that into a goal. That time they were looking for Kimbrough on the near side, but the through ball just wasn't in quite the right position, and Raptors will continue with possession. Ball played into the middle, not really marked. Blockowitz over to the far side. That's LePage. She's got a runner, and she will pass the ball off to her. That's Pagat. Ball into the middle. Header not there. Still on. Heads into touch. It'll be a throw in for RKC. Good quick cross through the air. But just unable to get a clean head on the ball. Now we'll see RKC Third Coast try and go on the counter, but the through ball can't get to Kimbrough. Taken away by Coyne. Over to the far side. Mahoney holds on to it with the dribble. Knocked away by Ramdani. Second ball by Mahoney. Bub comes up to challenge. Raptors keep possession for a moment, but Brower, well done, steps into the passing lane, intercepts that pass. Hopping up into the air, Annalise Black can't get a head on it. Shot from distance, up and over the crossbar. No, for Amelia Wu. Late in this first half, we are now in the 36th minute. We are seeing Rockford more willing to take shots from distance. And I often use the word optimistic when talking about those shots. A lot has to go right when you are taking a shot through or over the trees and hoping that it dips under the crossbar someplace where the keeper can't get a mitt on it. You sometimes see teams start to take more of those shots late in halves when fatigue starts to set in, and there isn't the same kind of work rate to try and create open opportunities inside the 18 or maybe even in the 6. That's a bouncing through ball that comes to McClenahan. She'll roll it over to the far side, and Raptors will build from the back. Last couple times down, that's what we've seen from Raptors FC. And again, no substitutes. It's a cool day, but not so cool that you can't see players working up a little bit of a lather, some sweat. And certainly by the end of a half now, you may start seeing a little fatigue. Ball over the top from Brower. Good ball. Kimbrough, she will play that before it goes out to touch. Cuts back, knocked off her foot and taken away by Raptors. 37th minute, moving into the 38th. Optimistic ball played forward. Touched momentarily by Ramdani, but then controlled again by Raptors. More just a ball that tilts the field position in their favor. Now they'll work to build more out of the back. Aaron Darchik. Outstanding aggressive move by Callie Hefner. She takes it away and RKC goes on the attack. They'll slow things for a moment with Hernandez. Ball into the middle, a lot of contact. Going flying is Rizitano. But they're going to call that against, how is that going to be against RKC? He's going to say that Rizitano grabbed her kit first and then Coyne committed the push. So he calls the initial foul rather than the much more aggressive one. And interesting choice on the part of Ryan Shanklin. We won't say much more than that. We'll have a throw in for RKC Third Coast. It is to a degree understandable. You do have to call the first foul, and that's, for better or worse, that's part of the game. And it wasn't that the grab of the kit was not a foul unto itself, but the aggressiveness of the further action. And that's one of the unfortunate things about soccer is there's no real intermediate penalty that you can assess between what I like to call the common soccer officiating move of a stern talking to and a yellow card. We do get a foul this time, though, against Raptors. Shanklin, though, he explained himself at least. He reached for the jersey to show what happened as he made the call, so at least we were able to tell you why the call was what it was, rather than simply wondering why, with a player in red and black stripes going flying through the air, sans trapeze, the foul was on her. Ball played into the middle by Annalise Black, but no one coming up. Not really an organized attack there for RKC Third Coast, and Rockford Raptors FC will, under control, take things back in the other direction. In the middle, that's Wu. She'll play a ball over to the near side where there are no red and black kits, and that'll allow Erin Darchick to take it forward. Edge of the 18, she'll take a low driving shot that will go wide of the mark, just to the left of the near post. Cradaville. She'll set the ball down at the corner of the 6 and send it away. Over the top of Black. Kimbrough on the near side now. Well marked, an outstanding defense by Bellawall. She'll play it back to the keeper McClenahan at the edge of the 18. Outside the 18, so she has to keep it on her feet, but no challenge from Third Coast. Taken forward and sent to the near side and Kling. Ava Kling, once again well marked by Fix, who has given Kling some fits. Low cross by Kling into the middle. Rockford gets one touch on it, then a second touch. Driving shot goes into the back of Gracie LePage, and RKC will take it back. Amelia Wu thought she had the angle in terms of clearing all of the opposing players out of the way. However, she forgot about her teammate and put it right into the back of LePage. Now an opportunity for RKC Third Coast. Kimbrough tries to play a ball forward, but it goes directly to Zoe Mahoney. She was looking at Rizitano, but kind of looked through Mahoney, and Mahoney was able to get a foot on it. To the near side, taken forward by Walls. 1-2 ball, that'll come to the near side and Kling. Kling with some space. Fix, Kling at the edge of the 18. Kling tries to send it towards goal, but it goes wide of the near post. 42nd minute. Still 0-0. First of 2 matches today here at Pritchard Park. USL W action. It's been the home of RKC Third Coast since the very beginning. RKC Third Coast looking for its second victory on the season after starting with a pair of defeats. Again, Raptors FC got the victory in the first matchup between these two sides, 2-1. Fairly evenly played match, as this one has been as well. But RKC Third Coast trying to level the season series here in the second match. Near side, Bella Walls. Ball played over to the far side. Nice move by Bub. However, she runs past the ball. She has to make contact with LePage to try and slow down the attack. LePage gets past one, then 2 defenders, but she cannot control the ball as she put too much pace on the dribble, and it'll go out across the goal line for a goal kick. We have not had an RKC Third Coast goal in this half, but when we get one, The official goal sponsor for RKC Third Coast is High Point Accounting and Advisory. High Point provides outsourced bookkeeping and financial advisory services for small businesses and nonprofits across the region. If you run a business and want a team that knows your numbers, visit highpointaccounts.com. Approaching the extra time in the first half. We're about a minute and a half away. RKC Third Coast on the run, ball over the top. And that's the kind of ball that McClenahan, coming off her line as she does, will take away a lot of the time because she is acutely aware of her positioning in that box and will gladly come up to grab a cross over the top that bounces more towards the center of the box than out towards the wings. Touched out on the far side by Bub. Throw in for Rockford Raptors. A lot of R's today. RKC, Rockford Raptors. If you're a pirate out there, you're probably enjoying this. R. Wayne Howard over on the other side of the press box pointing out a variety of other teams named R, Rochester, Riverlight. It starts sounding a little bit like We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel when you start naming teams left and right like that. We are nearing the end of the first half, and some of you out there in broadcast land might be saying, thank God. It's not that the first half hasn't had some moments, but certainly no scoring just yet. Still 0-0. That's LePage trying to make a turn on the ball, but the Turf Monster coming up to defend her. We have 1 minute of stoppage time. Unsurprising that there will not be much, given that really the only stoppage we had was for the blood that we had for Bella Walls. Haven't had any bookings, haven't had any substitutions. Ryan Shanklin. Maybe he wants to get to Kewpie Burger too. They're closed on Sunday. Okay, all right. Clarify. Wasn't sure about that. So if you are not aware of the legend of Kewpie Burger in Racine, we'll end the first half on this. Classic burger franchise, Depression era, related to the Kewpie dolls. In fact, their logo includes one. Old school diner in Racine. I mean, like going back in time as we get the whistle there. And fun place to go and have a burger. And old school food, too. And old school prices. Very affordable. That is the whistle for the end of the first half. And at the end of the first half, RKC Third Coast 0, Rockford Raptors FC 0. No score in the first half of this one, much the way there was no score in the first half when RKC took on Raleigh Madison FC here last weekend. However, RKC Third Coast was able to get a goal in the second half of that one, and they will try and do the same thing in the second half of this contest. We're going to take a brief pause. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about what we saw in the first half, and we'll tell you what to expect in the second. But for now, 0-0 at halftime. This is RKC Third Coast Soccer. Back with you at halftime as RKC Third Coast women go up against Rockford Raptors FC. Thanks for joining us via Sports Engine, USL W website. Dan Pfeiffer along with you here from Pritchard Park in Racine, where it's still 0-0 between the Raptors and RKC Third Coast. Do want to thank some of our sponsors when we have the opportunity. That includes High Point Accounting and Advisory, the 2026 title and goal sponsor of RKC Third Coast. High Point provides outsourced bookkeeping and financial advisory services for small businesses and nonprofits across the region. If you run a business and want a team that actually knows your numbers, visit highpointaccounts.com. The official gym of RKC Third Coast is Razor Sharp Fitness, a gym with 2 locations here in Racine and Mount Pleasant. Whether you're just getting started or you've been training for years, Razor Sharp has the facility and programs to meet you where you are. Find them at razorsharpfit.com. Red Onion Cafe. Speaking of places with some good food, the official post-game meal provider for RKC Third Coast, Red Onion Cafe, is located at 555 Main Street, right here in Racine for breakfast, lunch, or catering. Red Onion Cafe is your first choice. Visit redonionracine.com for their menu or to book an event. Root Pike Win, a community partner, is the organization working to restore the Root River, Pike River, and the watersheds that feed directly into Lake Michigan right here in our backyard. Pritchard Park is part of what they're fighting to protect. Learn more and get involved at rootpikewin.org. Milwaukee Riverkeeper, a community-led organization, is doing advocacy, education, and science to protect and restore the Milwaukee River Basin. Clean water in this region does not happen on its own. It takes people showing up year after year, and Milwaukee Riverkeeper is among them. Visit MilwaukeeRiverkeeper.org to find out more about Milwaukee Riverkeeper. Community partner UW-Milwaukee's School of Freshwater Sciences, the only graduate school in the country dedicated entirely to freshwater research. Sitting on the shore of the largest freshwater system in the world, learn more at uwm.edu/freshwater. They know some things about freshwater at UWM. They also know a thing or two about baseball. By the way, how about the Milwaukee Panthers knocking off Auburn, and then also UCF becoming the first ever Horizon League team to reach the regional championship final as a result of winning its first 2 games in the winner's bracket. And they are on the verge of going to the super regional. Have not seen exactly, I'll be honest, I have been wrapped up in the preparation for this match here today to see when they are playing, if they've already played. I may be talking about an event that's already happened here in terms of them playing their 3rd game in the tournament. But Stan Anderson and I, when we were on the broadcast again against Raleigh Madison FC, we met at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee when he was coaching there. My undergrad is from there. And shout out to the Milwaukee Panthers and their baseball team for shocking the world as they knocked off Auburn to get that tournament started, the number 4 seed in the country, and are the talk of the college baseball world right now. And there have been occasionally some Milwaukee presences on the RKC Third Coast roster as well. So always good to talk about all of the local schools. We spend a lot of time talking about Parkside and Carthage as well, which are both in this area, but always root for all of the colleges in this area, as many of them do feed players to this RKC Third Coast program. Among the players who are part of this RKC Third Coast program, although we do not yet know where she is going to school, is Kira Kimbrough, and she has played a big part today for RKC Third Coast. They really looked for her on the attack, but again, we have seen so many times that Emmeline McClenahan is very willing to come off her line as a keeper and really disrupt when you see Third Coast try to play crosses into the box. Now, there was the one occasion very early in the match where she was so far off her line that a ball was played past her. It just went past the far side of the goal. But when it comes to McClenahan and her approach, you have to think that's part of what Chelsea Davis is going to talk about with her RKC Third Coast side, both with Kimbrough and the other forward for RKC Third Coast, Ava Rizzitano. Hey, if you see that opportunity and you see McClenahan is off her line, doesn't have to be all the time, doesn't have to be every time down, but maybe take that opportunity to see if you can catch her out of position, play a ball towards goal that she can't recover in time to get to, And that might be a way that Third Coast could get a goal in this contest. Otherwise, it's been a fairly evenly played first half. Raptors have maybe had a little bit of the advantage in terms of possession, but that might just be the feeling that we got after that first 10 minutes where they had a lot of possession. And then RKC Third Coast played them relatively even the rest of the way. Hasn't really been anything to say has been an advantage or a disadvantage for either side thus far in this match. It's just a matter of which team can put together the best single opportunity to get on the board first, and that will change the tenor of this match. It is very similar, what we've seen thus far, to what we saw against Raleigh Madison FC last weekend. So, for RKC Third Coast, it is a familiar spot to be in. They are a team that plays a lot of matches that don't involve a lot of goals. They've played 3 matches already on the season, and they've only seen 5 goals scored across those 3 matches, 2 for themselves, 3 for their opponents. So this is a little bit more what they're comfortable with, whereas Rockford Raptors, again, they've scored 3 goals on the season thus far, but they've also given up 7, and they have dropped their last 3 matches. It's possible they could be feeling some of the effects of that. Again, we talk about the momentum of dropping 3 straight, whereas RKC Third Coast is coming off of that victory against Raleigh Madison FC. The fact that we're talking about the past matches, though, after one half of this match, that tells you there really wasn't much to pull from that first half of this contest. We'll have to see if anything gets established in the second half on either side, or if this one looks like it's going to give a point to both teams. We will come back with second half action here from Pritchard Park. Right now, you're looking at the pitch, looking from west to east. The locker rooms, the underground entrance, if you will, on the north side of the pitch, on the far side, the scoreboard on the south side. From our vantage point, we have been yet to see a goal. Maybe later on, though, we will see one. We'll come back with the second half and whether or not we will get that goal right after this. RKC Third Coast 0, Rockford Raptors FC 0. This is RKC Third Coast Soccer. Just about set for the second half here at Pritchard Park as RKC Third Coast and Rockford Raptors FC do battle over the course of 180 minutes of soccer today. You'll get 90 minutes with the women. We've already got 45 in the books. You'll also get 90 minutes with the men. That'll start up at 7 o'clock later this evening. Dan Pfeiffer with you on this cooling day here in Racine. It was 61 and overcast with the wind coming at 6 miles per hour off the lake to the east to start the day, but it has felt like it's gotten a little bit cooler. We talked about that during the breakup here in the press box. That wind off the lake will cool things down quickly, and such has been the case here. Not really affecting the match much, though. You see just a tiny little bit of movement out of the American flag near the scoreboard, but certainly not enough to be something you have to take into account on crosses and shots. Both sides return to the pitch as we get set to get things back underway. For those about to rock, we do salute you, whether or not you are part of AC/DC. Looks like both sides are going with the same 11 to start things out here in the second half. Have not heard of any substitutes coming on. Although we do see actually a new number on the near side, as we are now having a substitute radioed up. Do notice that Kate Brown is out there now for RKC Third Coast. Mary D. Bradford High School in Kenosha, also attending Parkside. Looks like she replaced Kimbrough. We talked about Kimbrough at the half. Also sounds like Malia Ramdani came out for RKC Third Coast. Do see now a number 5 out there for RKC.
Substitution for the Rockford Raptors.
Number 5 is Emily Giese.
Number 16, Kira Bogus is out. And number 29, Portland Tuffy is in.
Also, there was one substitution. We are now having them relayed up, so that is the story.
Number 3, Kira Kimbrough out. And number 15,
Cortland Hefty also came in for Rockford Raptors FC.
Kate Brown.
Believe Hefty came on for, was it Kira Bagat? Yes. Thank you very much. Confirmation from Gina Rogers, our outstanding public address announcer today.
Also out for RKC, number 22, Malia Ramdani. And number 5, Emily D.
Get the Giese substitution squared away as well as just checking to make sure we've got the personnel straight. Apologies if we dropped out from the broadcast for a little while. Sure, a few of you out there, hey, we finally got a way for him to be quiet. Okay. Ball played over the goal line. Turned into a goal kick for Rockford Raptors FC. They now have possession for the first time here in the second half, but it's taken away quickly by Olivia Hernandez, though she can't hold on to it. Blockowitz over to the far side. Ava Kling, talked about her quite a bit in the first half. The Kling-Fix battle. That'll be contact. That'll be a foul called against Brower. Defensive midfielder, and this will be a set piece from a dangerous position for Raptors. Ryan Shanklin. It is on the 20-yard line of the gridiron football field. That would be 30 yards out relative to the soccer pitch. Pretty much dead center. Ella Cradaville. She will be the one to manage the line for RKC Third Coast. From this distance, it looks like she believes 4 will be the correct number of players to be in that wall. Mahoney steps over it. Shot taken from distance by Erin Darchick. But Cradaville makes the save. Another reminder, Camp Shutout is the official save sponsor for RKC Third Coast. World's largest youth goalkeeper camp, 800 keepers from 46 states and multiple countries. Over the course of 2 weeks up in Stevens Point, visit campshutout.com to learn more about what Camp Shutout has to offer. Stan Anderson will be joining us for the men's broadcast tonight, the purveyor of Camp Shutout. Whistling a foul call against RKC Third Coast. Ella Cradaville attended one of the Camp Shutout road shows. The Camp Shutout Big Show is the one that occurs in July every year up in Stevens Point. Over 100 staff members. I have been involved with Camp Shutout myself for over 15 years. Camp Shutout has evolved. In 1989, it included 3 soccer goalkeepers and a person who was going to be playing a goalkeeper as an actor. Now it has over 800 youth keepers across 2 weeks. And it is considered by many of the goalkeepers up there, they call it goalkeeper heaven because it is such a lonely position so much of the time with such unique skills required, obviously being the only player who can use their hands. Inside the 18, Raptors shot through the legs of Cradaville and in! Oh, a howler for Cradaville as we talk about keepers here on the broadcast. And Rockford Raptors FC gets on the board. Scored by Ava Kling. It comes in the 50th minute, and Cradaville can only stand on her line and wonder what happened. In hockey, they call it 5-hole. There's not much more to it than that, folks. And poor Ella Cradaville there in goal, you don't want to be too critical, but at the same time, it was entirely on her. It was not a ball struck with much pace. It just went right through the wickets. And it's 1-0 in favor of Rockford Raptors. Ava Kling, the beneficiary of just an error on the part of Cradaville. Now Cradaville has to come off her line, but ruled offside is Gracie LePage. And you can see Cradaville is still frustrated with herself, and it's understandable. It is a moment that tests the mental makeup of a keeper after allowing a goal like that. Because you still have to not just continue to play your position, but you also have to keep communicating with your back line, making judgments on set pieces. Good ball sent forward by RKC Third Coast. Gets to the goal line. It'll be cleared away by Mahoney. Possession stays momentarily with Rockford Raptors FC. Feet get caught up over on the far side, but you can't let a moment like that escalate. That's the big thing. Now, if you're Cradaville, it's over, it's done with. We keep moving. And again, you saw her kind of frustratedly slam the ball down after the offside call. Certainly it's going to stick in her head. Ball played from distance, but that'll be saved by McClenahan. Callie Hefner takes that shot from about 30 yards out. Tough moment. It's going to be one that it's going to stick in her head, certainly, but if you can put it out of your mind, at least for the next 40 minutes. And this is where you have to remember it's a team sport. We just talked about how lonely that keeper position can be, but you know what? You do have the 10 players in front of you, including some of her former Muskego teammates. Hey, it's a moment where you got to hope they pick you up. Edge of the 18. Shot partially blocked. Trying to take it to the right. Hefty. Nothing there. Ball crossed in. One touch. And there we see Cradaville come off her line. And after not much contact, she is able to pick up that spinning ball and keep it from heading towards the far post. Touched out on the part of Bella Walls. It'll be a throw-in for RKC Third Coast. Now, granted, if you are Third Coast, the situation is much different now. You can't let this one fly away from you. We say that as a couple of birds have decided to apparently take roost right above us here in the press box. I might have been able to hear that even on our field microphone. Ball played towards goal. Not even letting it go out, even though it was wide of the near post, is McClenahan. Thrown down the pitch, trying to counter quickly. Aaron Darchick. Ball to the far side. Kling, the goal scorer just a few minutes ago. Edge of the 18, gets by Fix. Too heavy of a touch. And it's cleared away. Kling still a little frustrated. We saw some of that in the first half, even though she scored the goal. Will be sent away once again by Stedman. Little header by Brown, the substitute on for Third Coast. However, the ball is sent back to McClenahan, and a chance for Raptors to reset with Mahoney on the near side. Good ball forward. Square ball back to Mahoney. So play it along the touchline. That's LePage. Goes out for a throw-in. Looks like we will have a substitute come on for RKC Third Coast. Annalise Black coming off the pitch. Try and get an idea on who's coming on for her. That is 19, Mia Silber, who is coming on. She attends Winthrop out of Lakeville, Illinois.
Substitution for RKC. Out. Number 8, Annalise Black. In. Number 19, Mia Silber.
So Silber gives you a little bit more height and physical presence in the middle for RKC Third Coast. However, we will get a set piece here for Raptors as Ryan Shanklin calls a foul against Third Coast. 2 Raptors there. We have seen them go with the step over before. Mahoney, and I believe that's Aaron Darchick. Can't see the number on her back right now. She has been a part of a number of the set pieces thus far. Actually, no. Aaron Darchick is being sent back over to the bench. She may have a blood issue. We saw it earlier in the match as well with Bella Walls. She's actually taking down her sock. I wonder if that may be a shin guard issue. We'll see. Ball into the middle. Played towards goal. Great save by Cradaville. And then a whistle and a foul against Raptors FC. Cradaville with the great reflexes. Puts out her left leg and makes the save. Presented by Camp Shutout. Learn more about the camp at campshutout.com. Believe that was Hefty who sent that one towards the goal line with pace. Cradaville, not much time to react, but react she did. Touched out by LePage. Throw in for RKC Third Coast. Goes off the head of LePage. 2 Raptors there, but a good aggressive move by Hernandez. She forces the issue, though Wu gets possession. Then coming up through the middle, that's Silber. The recent substitute plays the ball to the near side and Brown. Nice ball from Hefner. Back to Silber. Hefner takes it again. With the left foot, off the dribble. Nice move to the right, right-footed shot. That little curl just beyond the far post. But you like the body language there, and you like the 5 that you just saw from Kate Brown and Callie Hefner. Great sequence for RKC, even though the shot wasn't on frame. Good communication, good passing, good build, good opportunity. Even the nice move to create the shot opportunity. Just couldn't curl it in. Good work by LePage to fight off the defender, though Bub eventually gets the final touch. She sends it out across the touch line. Throw in by LePage. Now keep in mind there's a little less room on this side of the pitch than there is on the other side. So if LePage wants to do her patented trademark flip throw, she'd have to take a more horizontal angle. maybe kind of curl into it if she would choose to go there. That is touched out. We'll get a throw in. Now there's a little bit more space beyond the grandstand there, so I think it's going to be Mahoney, though, who throws this one in. That gives LePage the chance to go into more of an attacking position in front of the near post. This throw-in will be short. It comes to LePage, and it'll be crossed back in by Mahoney, headed towards goal, and it goes just wide of the mark. Ava Kling looking to make it a brace in the 59th minute. And had it been just angled slightly more towards Lake Michigan, it could have been a threat for goal number 2 for Rockford. But Cradaville, fortunate to watch that one go wide of the mark. Substitute comes on for Rockford. It is Nora Eitz who comes on to replace Amelia Wu in the Raptors midfield. Eitz, a young presence for the Raptors. We talked about how they have a number of players who are still working their way through high school. She is not yet committed to a college. She will not start in college until 2028. She is currently coming out of Arlington Heights, Illinois. Raptors with a strong youth club program. They also have a number of players from Chicago Sockers who are part of their operation. Whistling a foul that will be called against Rockford. So we'll have a free kick here for RKC Third Coast, just barely in the attacking half. Coming up is Stedman. She'll let it go, though. This will be Brower. Central defensive midfielder for RKC Third Coast. Dutch national. She'll take this actually from behind the midfield stripe. One of a number of players that are part of the Third Coast program who attends Central Methodist University out of Missouri. Possession taken away by Rockford Raptors FC. RKC Third Coast really trying to force the issue. Good step by Amelia Bubb, but she stepped on the foot of Eitz, and that will result in a foul. The instinct was there on the part of Bubb to move to the ball, but made contact with Eitz, just happened to put her foot where Eitz's foot also happened to be, and as a result, a warranted whistle on the part of Ryan Shanklin. 61st minute, and with the goal coming in the 50th minute on the part of Ava Kling, that no other way to describe it, and again, as someone who does some work in Muskego and knows quite a bit about that program, it always pains me to speak ill of anything regarding a Muskego Warrior, but Ella Cradaville just let it go right underneath her. Don't want to belabor the point, but at the same time can't really sugarcoat it either, because it was right at her. She was right over the top of it. She had her body down. She was in a pretty good position. Arms weren't together, legs weren't together. Ball went right through her and in the goal. If it wasn't a goal, we probably wouldn't still be talking about it, because it just is one of those moments that you don't want to relive. But unfortunately, because it is the difference in this match right now, we do have to bring it up every once in a while. Possession taken by Rockford. Maria Chavez, near side, Zoe Mahoney. And again, not to belabor the point, but truly, it is about how you recover from a moment like that. Good test of the poise of all of these players for Chelsea Davis's side. Nice ball played forward by Stedman. Hernandez, she'll go with the dummy. That allows Brown to play the ball. Looks at Hernandez, tries to get it to her, but it's taken off her foot by Erin Darchik. And it's controlled by Raptors FC. Ball played forward, a little too optimistic. Hefner. Couple nice moves to create some space, then dishes it off to Brower. RKC content to move it to the back and Fix. Fix. Good ball forward, well connected with Silber. Silber looking for the cross. Can't get it off in time. By the time she does, it's at an angle where all she can do is play it towards the doors of the locker room, and we will have a goal kick for Rockford Raptors FC. Again, we'll have the men's match coming up with a kickoff time of 7 o'clock tonight. Also taking on Rockford Raptors FC. Men looking for their second win on the season as well, although they have only played 2 USL 2 matches. Second league win, we should say. They also got a victory over FC Milwaukee Torrent in Wisconsin Cup play. Proud moment for the RKC Third Coast franchise. Wayne Howard up here in the box, and he knows quite a bit about that Torrent franchise, has modeled some of what he's done down here after what Andy Davi has done with them up there. Of course, I work with both franchises, so can't speak ill of either, but a nice victory. Had to go to added extra time, but RKC Third Coast getting the 3 points in Wisconsin Cup play. I stand corrected. You know, here's the problem with me working for both clubs. I can't remember who won and who lost. They lost. It was FC Milwaukee Torrent who got the 3-2 win. So just forget everything I said for the last 90 seconds or so here, as apparently my memory has completely failed me here. If you'll pardon me for about 15 seconds, I'm going to hit the restart button. And we're just gonna boom. That's the startup sound. Okay, we're rebooting the brain. We'll be good to go. Ball in possession of McClenahan. But already one win on the USL 2 season for the RKC Third Coast men, and they'll try and double their point total against Raptors FC at 7 o'clock tonight. Stick around for that one. We will be joined by Stan Anderson. We'll also have a couple other special guests who are scheduled to join us for a little while on the broadcast. Tune in to find out more. 7 o'clock tonight. RKC Third Coast, the men, taking on Rockford Raptors FC. Rockford right now content to slow down the pace of this match a little bit. They're just playing the ball around the back right now. Not even really looking to make any move to the midfield at first here. It comes to the captain, Chavez. She'll play it over to the near side and Mahoney. Mahoney now finally connects things with the midfield, at least in a small way with Eitz, although Eitz is playing back. Sent to Erin Darchik in the middle. She'll send it over to the far side. Coming forward is Bella Walls. Looks for Kling. Finds Kling, but it's touched out by Third Coast. We'll get a throw-in for Rockford Raptors FC, although we'll also get a couple substitutions for the Raptors. Erin Darchik comes off. She will be replaced by Molly Merkel. Also coming off is Kling. And trying to see the number who replaced Kling, or at least who came on in Kling's place. It looks like Merkel is going to go where Kling was in that left forward position. Ball played along the goal line by Raptors, but goes out over the goal line. It's a number 2, and I'm going to stand corrected here. Earlier, Rockford on their online roster had Nora Eitz listed as wearing number 13. Now they have her in as number 2. So I stand corrected. Eitz had not yet come into the match. She is now in the match. Number 13 is Riley Novak, a late change that was made by the fine folks at Rockford Raptors FC. So apologies for identifying Eitz as, or correct, identifying Novak as Eitz for a while. So, and this, I have occasionally lamented the fact that at this level, uniform numbers are oftentimes a fluid thing. So my apologies for that. That was a late change Silly me for preparing for these things. Why do I do that? You just come and freelance.
Which very well for state
Rely more on my improv comedy roots, apparently. But I think we've got things straight now, as we've got Merkel out there again in that left forward attacking position, and Nora Eitz coming in more of a midfield spot for Rockford Raptors FC. Have that straight. We are in the 69th minute of this match, approaching the 70th minute. Again, Raptors FC with the 1-0 lead on the strength of the Ava Kling goal in the 50th minute. That will be deflected out over the end line, and we will have a corner kick coming up here for Rockford Raptors FC. Strong deflection off of Amelia Bubb. Haven't really talked about Rockford having many corner kicks today. We'll see what they can do with this one coming from the southwest side. That is a ball played towards goal. Dangerous ball on the part of Riley Novak. One of the substitutes that just came on, but it goes up and over the top. Ball hit with pace by Novak. Tried to cross things over to the far post. Had it been a little lower, not sure there's anything Cradaville could have done about that, but fortunately for RKC Third Coast, off the mark. To the point now where with 20 minutes remaining before our final batch of stoppage time, sense of urgency has to start kicking in here now for RKC Third Coast. On the far side, Rizzitano. Haven't mentioned her much today. Good ball played forward. Silber, far side. Low cross, touched once by Raptors, but again controlled by Silber. She'll take a touch towards the middle, but there's no one there wearing red and black stripes, and it's cleared away by Raptors FC. Ball played back towards the near side. Across the pitch on the part of Novak. Nice run being made by Eitz. Eitz, well defended. Good recovery on the part of Stedman. It'll go out off of her just in front of the corner flag. It'll be a throw-in for Raptors. Random appearance by AC/DC. Normally you have to pay good money for those concert tickets. Off the throw, knocked out, and we'll have a couple more substitutions now for Rockford Raptors. Walls and LePage will both depart.
Repeat that all for Rockford, please.
Addie Johnson among those in for Rockford, along with Jade Diaz.
Out for Rockford, number 16, Diaz. And number 15, Johnson.
Foul against RKC Third Coast. Off the body of Bubb, and it will roll to Cradaville, who will control and the attacking opportunity for Rockford. Diaz and Johnson on for Rockford Raptors. Jade Diaz headed to Illinois State. Addie Johnson, a 2020 alum of Valparaiso, as we have contact along the goal line. Sounded like there was one more substitute there. Liliana Cruz comes on for Olivia Hernandez for RKC Third Coast. Cruz, product of the FC United club structure in the Chicago area. Also attending Zion Benton Township High School, age 17. Another young presence on this pitch, along with the many high school players we have mentioned are part of the Rockford Raptors FC roster. It has not hurt them today, though, being as young as they are, both with the warm-ish conditions, even as it has cooled. They have not shown much fatigue. We have seen a number of substitutes, obviously, through the match. And they have maintained their poise, and they have that 1-0 lead. They'll also get possession here. That's Johnson. We mentioned Audie Johnson. We started talking about her a little bit. 2020 alum of Valparaiso. Rockford native, shot from distance. Cradaville has to go into the air to pull that one down. Eitz with the shot, Cradaville with the save, presented by Camp Shutout. Learn more about the camp at campshutout.com. Ball cleared towards the near side bleachers, but Johnson for Rockford, if her LinkedIn profile is to be believed, she is a data analyst for her day job for the Federal Bank of Boston. And yet, on the weekends and at night, she's still out here playing high-level amateur soccer. All credit to Addie Johnson. Went to school in Rockford. Still part of the community there. Near side, that's Eitz. She'll take the left-footed shot. That'll go over the top. Eitz got the step, saw the window, tried to get the power behind it, just lifted it too high into the air. Rockford not content with just this 1-goal lead. RKC Third Coast, though, have to be getting a little nervous about how much sand has fallen out of the hourglass at this point, especially since we have not really seen them in the attacking half much over the course of the last 10 minutes. They've had some opportunities today. Ricocheted a bar off the woodwork in the first half. Near post. Had the ball in some dangerous positions inside the 18. Have taken some good shots from distance, but right now, the clean goal in the 50th minute is standing up for Rockford Raptors. Whistled a foul call against RKC Third Coast, and understandably, Zoe Mahoney, who has been out there the entire time for Raptors, takes her time to come over to take this free kick. We have seen the likes of Mahoney try and put balls like this on goal, but she will play this along the ground to Merkel. Back to Mahoney on the 1-2 ball. Cleared away, though, by RKC Third Coast and Stedman. That back line for RKC Third Coast has only had one substitute come on. That has been Giese. Fix, Stedman, Brower, and Bubb still out there for Third Coast, as it has been for the entire match. 4 of the 5 players making up the RKC Third Coast defense still anchoring things back there. And having a good, consistent back line, such a key for a club. We talked a little bit about FC Milwaukee Torrent earlier as I thoroughly confused the results of that match that I was not here for between Torrent and RKC Third Coast, but that has always been a strength of their very solid women's club. They have consistently had outstanding presences in the back, and when you can keep the other team from finding the back of the net, you are almost always going to be in good shape. They talk about that as one of the issues, generally speaking, in American soccer on the whole, the fact that the competition to get athletes, because we play so many sports in this country, baseball, basketball, football, lacrosse growing as it is, that oftentimes you'll see the best athletes want to play midfield or forward positions to get the glory of scoring goals, but at the end of the day, you look at the best clubs around the world, and it is the clubs with the best central defenders, the John Terrys of the world, the many great defenders that FC Barcelona has had over time. They're the ones that are the best clubs on the whole. A lot of contact, and we have a Rockford Raptors player down on the far side of the pitch. We brought up the last time we were on these airwaves when RKC Third Coast took on Raleigh Madison. Axel Heuber, who played at Marquette, who has been an all-MLS player. Player that went down for Rockford Raptors was Zoe Mahoney, and you could see as she got up, she stayed on the ground after she went down, and she made a motion as she rose to her feet as if she swung her arm out to the right, and I think that was her attempt to indicate that that was why she went down the way she did. So she will obviously have some words, not only for the trainer, but for our official Ryan Shanklin as she rises back to her feet and gets back out on the pitch. Not happy with the fact there was no call there, and also Eduardo Garza will also come over to make his thoughts known, and he's not happy with the fact that not only was there no call, but they're actually calling that against Mahoney. So, needless to say, none of that sequence went the way Mahoney wanted it to, and this means RKC Third Coast will be able to send the ball towards the edge of the 18. It'll be driven out. Looked like contact was made from our vantage point on the part of Eitz, but the near side linesman pointed his flag in the opposite direction. Question about whether or not there was a handball. Trying to make a play on it is Hefner after that. Cannot get much of a touch. Riley Novak sends it away for Rockford Raptors FC, and they'll take it back into the attacking half. And with 10 minutes left before stoppage time, we are far from a point where Rockford Raptors FC will want to just take the ball into the corner. But they will want to hold on to possession, and that is Eitz, unmarked, on the near side. Left-footed shot towards the far corner. And fortunately for Ella Cradaville, it just has a little too much on it, but it was a dangerous-looking ball off the left foot of Eitz as it dipped so much as it headed towards goal. There had to be at least a thought that went through Cradaville's mind that that one could have just fallen underneath the crossbar. Fortunately, it was also a little wide of the mark as well, but wow, all alone on the near side, Nora Eitz, as RKC Third Coast understandably has to put a lot of pressure on the ball right now to try and get possession back, needing to get a goal to equalize this match now that we're into the 82nd minute, but wise move on the part of Rockford Raptors FC, and you have to wonder there too, Eitz. The way she struck that ball, it did not look like a terribly natural-looking move on the part of Eitz there to take that left-footed. I wonder if that's a moment where, again, like we were talking about earlier, Summer League, you have the one-goal advantage. Why not go to your off foot and see what you can do with that in this sort of situation and see if you can place a ball well? Cannot tell you off the top of my head if Eitz is primarily left or right-footed, but again, it definitely looked like a decision she thought about before she took that shot. That ball is sent forward. A lot of red and black stripes around the ball. Coming up, though, is Eitz. She is challenged by Bub. We'll get a whistle and a foul against RKC Third Coast. Contact on the part of Bub. This is definitely within range on a set piece. Eitz will run away from it. Mahoney will come up. She'll place the valve of the ball as she likes it. 36 yards out from goal. Plays it short, looking for a header. It's touched once by RKC. Now it's cleared away into the woods across from us by Jenna Brower. We will have a throw-in for the Raptors. And, of course, no reason for Addie Johnson the most veteran player out on the pitch right now, to do anything but take her time, then say, I don't feel like throwing this in. Why don't we take a little more time and bring someone else over? Not saying it's wrong. It's definitely not wrong. It's just part of the gamesmanship of the sport. Do the same thing when you have the lead. And when you're down, as RKC Third Coast are right now, you have to have a sense of urgency. But that ball played forward by Brower is intercepted. And then we're going to have contact. We'll have a whistle. We'll have a foul. And almost there, you saw Mia Silber. She played the ball, made contact with Merkel. Merkel went down, and Silber had her foot up as if she was going to keep playing it. And you got to be careful about that, because with Merkel down, it almost looked like she was going to drive a foot into Merkel there. Definitely don't want to have a booking here. Another free kick. Looking for Eitz on the near side. Gets beyond her. Bub gets possession. She'll play it into the middle. Brower turns around. Reverses pitch. Silber, far side. Good ball forward. Rizzitano. Nice little build here by RKC Third Coast. But Rizzitano just can't quite keep her footing. She gets wrong-footed. It's played off her foot, but it does come to the near side. Hefner. Edge of the 18, headed away momentarily. Good challenge on the part of Cruz. Ball played backwards, cleared away by Rockford Raptors FC. Fix. A lot of contact between Fix and Merkel. We'll get a whistle and we'll get a foul. We're going to get the foul call? No, it looks like we're going to have a throw-in. The way that we saw Ryan Shanklin come up and point looked like he wanted to call the foul. Now he's going to call the foul against RKC Third Coast. It is one of my occasional complaints. As much as I love the beautiful game, it seems like every official signal is relatively similar. You'll get officials sometimes that on their point between a corner kick and a goal kick will point like halfway between the goal and the corner, and you don't know what they're pointing at. You'll get officials that point after a ball goes out over the goal line and there's contact, such that it looks like the point at first looks like a PK because they're pointing in the direction of the spot, but they're just pointing at the goalie instead. Often hard to tell. It is an ancient game, and at times some of the ancient traditions of the game make it such that it's not always easy. And it's not like you have the officials on a microphone as you do at NFL games and whatnot, explaining what all is happening either. And not to mention, I don't know if you would want that. You do every once in a while, now that you hear some of the footage when officials are talking with VAR in the Premier League and elsewhere. Certainly it would be something they'd have to put onto a 10-second delay with some of the language that the players often use. Falling down is Emily Giese. And they will say she was tripped up by Cortland Hefty. Hefty, a Cleveland State Viking. Free kick taken by Cradaville. And RKC Third Coast running out of chances here. They've got to build something out of the back, and they've got to do it quickly. Ball played forward a bit too far forward for Silber. Touched out by Raptors. Throw in for RKC. Nice move. Rizzitano fakes out her defender. Can she get there in time, though? She's well marked by Hefty. Correction, that's Coyne on the far side, and ultimately Coyne is able to fend off her mark and let the ball go over the goal line for a goal kick. And understandably here, McClenahan will push her team forward, take her time to spot the ball on the edge of the 6-yard line. No need for Ryan Shanklin to summon the goal kick. She does make it. 1, 2, 3-second balls. Possession comes to RKC, at least for the moment. Nice turnaround move by Callie Hefner. She'll take it up with the dribble. Plays the ball to the near side, and Brown looking for a left-footed cross. Does send it across. Coming off her line is McClenahan, and she's able to pull it out of the air. We know Emmeline McClenahan has that instinct. We saw it almost burn her in the first half. This time, though, Fantastic move to end the RKC Third Coast attack. Wilson will foul. That'll go against RKC Third Coast. 89th minute. Time running out on Third Coast, trying to get their second victory of the season. A 50th minute goal by Ava Kling. And it continues to stand strong for Rockford Raptors FC. Ball played over to the far side. Couple of touches, but control not achieved. Fix comes up quickly. Sends the ball into the middle. Hefner near side, a lot of contact, whistle and foul. Ryan Schenklin's going to reach into his pocket and pull out a card. It'll be a booking against Zoe Mahoney. Mahoney saying it was shoulder to shoulder, but it looked like their legs got caught up too. Kate Brown was the one to set the ball down. This will be from 22.5 yards out. The circle, the D if you will, denotes 10 yards from the penalty spot. Now, interestingly, Ryan Schenklin drew the line for the wall behind the penalty spot, despite the fact the ball is beyond the circle. The line is supposed to be 10 yards. Shot taken by Callie Hefner, but McClenahan recognized the window that was there between the two walls of Rockford Raptors FC players, moved into that window, and was able to make the save. Hefner played it towards goal, did what she had to do. We are into stoppage time. Whistle and foul indicated. That'll go against RKC Third Coast. Too much contact on the part of Rizitano trying to get to the ball. We will have 3 minutes of added time.
The referee has indicated a minimum of 3 minutes added time.
McClenahan is the one to take the kick after the foul. Touched out by RKC Third Coast. Opportunities today for RKC Third Coast. Fair to say the Raptors have had the majority of possession. But ultimately right now the difference is a moment that RKC Third Coast keeper Ella Cradaville will want to scratch from her memory. It is Cradaville punting it away here. RKC Third Coast now with 0 time to waste. Headed forward by Hefner, but there's no one in the area. Cleared high into the air by the Raptors. Little push off, and that will get called. Young player mistake on the part of Liliana Cruz. Mahoney. Sends it forward. Over the top. Cradaville picks it up. She's just going to send it as far as she can down the pitch. Mahoney gets ahead on it. Not really a lot of red and black hits in the area. However, possession is controlled by Kate Brown. She gives it up. Ball played over to the near side. Hefner gets it. Edge of the 18. Right-footed shot. Save McClenahan. Well, you can't say RKC Third Coast didn't make it interesting. Another shot for Hefner. But McClenahan with the save both on the Hefner set piece and there on the Hefner shot after the counter. Can RKC Third Coast milk one more goal-scoring opportunity out of this match? Ball played over to the far side. Great run by Emily Fix. Touched out, though, by the Raptors and Molly Merkel. Likely the last opportunity of the match for RKC Third Coast. Fix will take the throw in. Giese, the central defender, is in the attacking half. Cradaville is 5 yards away from the attacking half. Ball played back. There you see Giese, and there's the point to the center spot. That will do it for this match. A 50th minute goal by Ava Kling is the difference in this contest as Rockford Raptors FC are able to find a way against RKC Third Coast. They have 6 points on the season, and all of them have come in matches against Third Coast. As today, they are able to hold on for a 1-0 victory. Tough match to drop for RKC Third Coast, as for the most part, they played them even throughout the day. But right now, as you see both teams shaking hands on the north side of the pitch, you also see Ella Cradaville is kind of wiping her face with her kit and pulling her gloves off over on the other side of the pitch. And there will be better days for her, and there have been better days for her. Again, multiple-time state champion as a Muskego Warrior, great player for the Eastern Illinois Panthers, but you can see, and she's putting her hands to her face right now. There's some pain and there's some frustration, but good work on the part. And you see, that's Eduardo Garza, who's going over to shake her hand, and other members of the staff, both Rockford and RKC Third Coast. And it's unfortunate. And I think even the folks with Rockford Raptors FC know that, hey, sometimes you just get the points. Sometimes it's not necessarily how you got them. And credit too, here's, Janine Valeria, Chelsea Davis, the coaching staff, they're making a point. Yeah, and she's frustrated. She knows it. She knows that what happened and that was the difference in the match. But you know what? You just got to move on. There will be other days. There will be other opportunities. It's a long season, and what you hope is that for the one time that happens today, there's another time during the course of this year that it goes the other direction. You've got to hope your teammates pick you up. There's more to it than just one play in every match. Just how it went today. So again, Kling with that goal in the 50th minute. That is the difference in the contest. Rockford Raptors FC captures the victory over RKC Third Coast 1-0. But don't put your computer or your phone or your tablet or whatever it is you stream soccer matches on too far away from your grasp, because we will be back in about 2 hours with the men's match against RKC Third Coast, as RKC hopes for a better result with the man taking the pitch against the male Raptors. But in the women's match, again, it is Rockford Raptors FC capturing a 1-0 victory over RKC Third Coast. My thanks to everyone involved with the RKC Third Coast program, all of the volunteers, all of our folks that helped out with cameras, to Wayne Howard, the owner of RKC Third Coast, Gina Rogers, our public address announcer today. My name is Dan Pfeiffer saying be a fan. Thanks for joining us. And do join us again in about 2 hours for the men's match. But here in the women's match, it is Raptors 1, Third Coast 0. Thanks for joining us, everyone. This has been RKC Third Coast Soccer.